Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Canadian Shield. My name's Sterling. I'm your host. Freeland and Justin Trudeau both made Canada Day announcements of, Happy Canada Day and all of that stuff. And the things that they said were absurd. And I believe that they were trying to sort of get the temperature of the country with some of their statements, some of their comments. When you consider that Canada has put these two people in charge of the country and all of our tax money, we have made some terrible decisions. And I will take the opportunity to remind you all that you have to vote. Canada needs to be one of the countries in the world that has the most votes. I don't care. 95% and above should be our benchmark. Otherwise, we have no one to blame but ourselves for allowing Freeland and Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh to have any power in this country at all. Appreciate that. They have power in this country. And we are a country filled with people who come from countries that do not have a free democratic vote. It should be the second thing you do when you get to this country. First, thank God that you made it to Canada. And second, where can I cast my vote? However, I want to let you listen to some of the cringiest stuff I've ever heard coming out of these guys. It's pretty ridiculous, especially Freeland. She literally had to beg the audience to cheer when she wanted them to cheer. And this is a real symptom of people only living in an echo chamber because they never really understand the once they're outside of a scenario that they have control over, they don't know what the reaction is going to be. And she's got this Hollywood Squares ridiculousness coming up behind her. Anyway, let's check it out.
Today is such a great day. Today is a time for us to reflect on the values that unite us as Canadians. For generations, we Canadians have worked and sometimes fought to build a Canada where everyone can share in the promise of our great country. There are old problems we have yet to solve and fresh challenges for us to meet. Of entire communities who come together to sponsor families fleeing war or devastation. Every single person here, every single person watching, builds our great country every day in our hard work in canola fields and research labs.
So you saw there where she was begging them to cheer because they want to bring, 30,000 people out of the Middle East, and they want you to cheer. Oh, they're running away from war, which is kind of an indicator that maybe there's something that's going to happen and they're getting the way the wind blows. What I love is the idea that the people who are going to be running away from war are the people that are starting the war, and somehow we're supposed to cheer them on and open up our borders to them. We don't have any room for the people that are currently living here. So if we don't have room for the people that are currently living here, why is she even discussing bringing more people here? Why is she even hinting at the idea that Canadians might cheer for us removing people from a war zone? We don't have the time to worry about what's happening in other people's. I'm sorry, and I get that it's a war zone. I get that it's chaos, it's madness, it's all kinds of things that are outside of the norm of the human nature. Like I understand that everybody wants to fantasize about the honor and the glory of World War II, but straightforward, most wars are not like that. Most wars are down and dirty, and they are filled with all kinds of injustices and all kinds of unfairness. And men will use the excuse, well, it's all fair in love and in war. So to tell yourself that we're going to cheer for people being brought to Canada, where it's already, Canada has so many burdens that are happening inside of our borders right now. Are we not really kind of at war with poverty? Are we not really already kind of at war with homelessness? Should we not be worrying about focusing our energies on domestic issues? Should we not be worrying about, instead of saying the Liberals to saying, well, the whole problems are all over the whole wide world, we should just say, well, you know what? If the problems are around the world, let's just fix our problems and stop worrying about what's going on in the whole wide world. I don't think that they are worried about what's happening inside of Canada, though. And I believe that in their minds, if they can flood some of the major urban areas with another 20, 30,000 people from other regions, those people will vote. And the Liberals who, without the urban areas, have no seats at all, will be able to maintain some seats and maybe some dignity. It's just a guess, but it makes sense to me. Okay, now the foolishness continues with, followed up by Justin Trudeau, who, I don't know where he was. I think he was in Newfoundland. I don't really know. Let's listen to his absurdity.
The land and the story that is Canada. It's a story of resilience. They're safeguarded every day by trailblazers, journalists, activists, organizers. People who want to keep building a country where we can disagree, sometimes passionately, but where we always come together in the pursuit of something greater than ourselves. A country where everyone has a fair shot, no matter who they are, where they come from, how they pray, or whom they love. And it's a story that's still being written by incredible Canadians who are stepping up for their community and their country.
Okay, I just like to say I can't stand to hear that guy say "step up" anymore. I mean, isn't that like a dance movie or something? I just really, a person born with a silver spoon who has had everything in life handed to him on a silver platter shouldn't be talking to me about what stepping up and what sacrifice is all about. And the guy's been saying it for 7 years. Every time I see Canadians in a bad way, this guy is nowhere to be found. So I don't see what he means by stepping up. If he was stepping up, well, he would have listened to the truckers, right? He would have walked out and had a talk with them. It's funny that he would reference, activists being running around the country. Does that mean that he's trying to throw his support behind the Hamas supporters? Is he trying to secretly give a nod to the Hamas supporters who are running up and down the country causing all kinds of problems? Does he really believe that we forget that when anybody that didn't agree with him, they froze their bank accounts? I mean, there was a story of 2 women in British Columbia bought 2 T-shirts off the trucker convoy. They were both of them on a fixed income, and Freeland froze their bank accounts. They were single mothers on fixed incomes, and she froze their bank accounts because they bought 2 T-shirts. So don't go telling me about disagreeing passionately. The Liberal Party does not allow anybody who doesn't agree with them any freedom at all. We all know that. We're not dumb. We see that happening. But why does he want you to believe that that's not the situation? Why does he want you to all of a sudden believe that that's not what happened? Can you honestly tell yourself that he wouldn't do it again? Can you say to yourself that, well, it happened one time and that he's accepted a responsibility and he's acknowledged that there's a problem with that and that they shouldn't have done that? Or are they saying, let's ignore it, let's pretend like it didn't happen and see if we can't just misinform and gaslight to the point where people will vote for us again and re-elect us and give us back all of the power and authority so that we can continue to drain every ounce of quality of life out of them? I think that when you talk like you are not responsible for the problems, you deserve to have people call you out for it. And that's really what you see me doing right here. I'm a little bit frustrated with everybody on the far left trying to paint the picture like it's not their decisions that have brought us to this line. All right, I'm going to wrap here. Thank you all for listening. I'll talk to you next time.